We are going to be talking into the wonderful world of scheduled tasks in Claude. Now, why do I want you to understand this? Because if you're like any of the people that we work with on a daily basis, what we find is that they become the bottleneck, right? So as you get good to AI, good with AI, you get more skills, you get more knowledge, you understand context, you understand prompt patterns, you understand all these things. And what happens is you end up building your workload even higher than it used to be, which sounds good on the surface, except you end up becoming the bottleneck, which is not what we were trying to do. What we're trying to do is make it so that you aren't the bottleneck. That's the plan. One of the easy ways we can get around that is scheduled tasks, right? Slightly different from agentic stuff. In fact, completely different from agentic stuff. I don't know why I just said slightly different. Completely different from agentic stuff, which is where everything's running on autopilot. We might not be able to get you there today. We're going to be here for like 45 minutes-ish, guess about. But what I can do is make it so that some things can run automatically without you. Now, if you're here, just a quick break to say subscribe, like, hit all the things, save for the notifications. We're going to be doing these every single week. And if you want to talk to us in the chat, we'd love that. You'll need to subscribe to the channel, and then you can ask any questions we go through, and the team will relay them to me. And if it fits in, we will get to your questions as well. So if you have any questions about what we talk about today, or anything in general around the world of AI, just put it in the chat and I would love to help you out. So let's get to the wonderful world of scheduled tasks. Now, the one I've chosen to start with is a very, very simple addition to your world, which is a leadership review. So what this is going to do is it's going to walk you through, it's going to connect to your Fathom or your Zoom or your Otter or your Granola or whatever note-taking app you use, and it's going to pull every single transcript that it can get access to. It's going to pull absolutely every single transcript, and it's going to look at it through the lens, not of actions, not of to-do items, not of communication, but of you. Like, how did you do as a leader, as a communicator? What foibles, what blind spots can't you see in what you're doing? And then it's going to give you a weekly report to help you start understanding. Now, in all these things, what we're actually talking about is transferable skills, right? So what I really want to get in and help you with is the transferable skill. So you can either take away from this the leadership and the communication protocols and everything that we do there, that's choice one, or you can look at it through the realm of, well, where does this fit in my business? Where does this fit in my life? How could this help me? If things were running on autopilot, how would this help me? Or choice three, which is the secret choice, you could actually do both at the same time. You can look at the leadership call, and you can look at what the idea of repeated tasks on autopilot would do for you instead. So you can actually do both. So let's walk through a couple of these things. As we just said, you're using AI, but does it show up without being asked? That is what we want to get to, right? We want to get to the point where AI is working autonomously. So instead of it being a tool that we use, which is what we often see, it becomes a digital employee, someone that works for us with none of the pay, none of the sick time, none of the relationship issues, none of the hurricanes or storms, none of the managing their energy because they're sad, just a pure digital employee. It does the work, right? So if you have to remember to run it, you don't have a system, you have a chore. If there's one thing you take away today, it would be that. If you have to remember to run it, you don't have a system, you have a chore. Most of the people we end up talking to left the full-time job they were in. And how do you put this? And they didn't realize all the things they were getting. So we work with like loads of coaches and consultants on a daily basis. And those coaches and consultants normally came from a corporate world. And they are fantastic and amazable, that's a new word, I'm gonna say it more often. They are amazable at being a coach or a consultant. But what they're not amazable at is, I am gonna keep trying to use it until I just bring it into parlance now. What they're not amazing at is the legal and the finance and the admin and the processes and the sales and the marketing and all of the stuff that goes around you being able to do your job. So if you're like a lot of people we work with, they sit in their first day and they're new, they've like taken the spare room or the box room and they've emptied it out and they've put a whiteboard on the wall, maybe even a vision board. And then they open their brand new Dell laptop or their MacBook Pro, depending on how cool they are. They've got a nice chair. They probably got it from Costco, one of the ones with a recliner. And then it suddenly hits them of all the things they have to do to be able to do the thing they want to do. They want to coach. They want to consult. They want to work with clients. They want to work on marketing campaigns. They want to build websites. They want to build social. But to do all those things that they want to do, they have to do the stuff that they have to do. But one of the things that you lose when you go from being in a corporate environment to being in a solo environment is feedback. You miss the boss doing the reviewing the work. You may not have liked it, but it helped. You miss the mentors. You miss everything around you. And the feedback that you used to get didn't stop because you didn't need it anymore. It stopped because nobody is paid to do it for you anymore. And that's what we're working through today. So you've got 3 different levels of this. And I want to move you today all the way up to the top. So, hey, Steve, it's my stage, man. So if I'm just responding to chat now, if I make up a word, then it becomes a word, right? So we've got the amateur. The amateur never watches the tape. So we just go about our day going, yeah, I'm doing great. Everything's fine. Everything's wonderful. Everything's brilliant. Then we've got the grinder, which is somebody that watches their own tape, which is the least objective view in the world. But you reviewing your own calls is a good start. And then finally, we've got people that have coaching staff. Now, everybody we look up to, whether it's in the world of business, in the world of finance, in the world of sports, in the world of acting, every single person has a coach. And I'm not saying here for 1 second you should replace your human coaches. I'm saying that you can augment them with things that are available 24/7, 365. So we want to get this from the tape to the review to the ribbon. So we want to go from, you've got the tape. Most of us now have a Fathom or an Otter or a Fireflies or something like that. And I'm guessing, if you're being honest, most of us never review them at all. We want to get you to the stage where you are actually reviewing. But then we want to get it so that it works on a schedule. Because this is the kind of thing that will always be done tomorrow. This is the kind of thing that's never important enough next to the other work that we have to do. But the funny thing about work that we don't want to do or we don't see as important on the day is that it compounds more than the work we do. So what I mean by that, for example, do a social post today. There is 100 things that will feel rightly more urgent, more important, more timely, and more productive than doing yourself a reel on Insta. However, consistently posting on social for the next 365 days, there is not much that will earn you more than doing that. And we find that in places like this as well. Reviewing your notes once is good, but the proposal is more important. The staff meeting is more important. The sales call is more important. The marketing is more important. But reviewing your work over the course of 365 days is going to compound and start giving you wins. Now, what we call these in co-work is a scheduled task. I'm going to walk you through one in a second and show you one of the ones I use for myself. And they have 3 different pieces to them. They have the prompt, right? What do we actually want the thing to do? Number 1. Number 2, they have a schedule. When should this thing run? And number 3, they have the connectors. Now, connectors are critically important. We cover that inside one of our courses, a Claude Essentials course, as in fact we cover all 3 of these things in our Essentials course. Connectors is what allows Claude to be the puppeteer and to control all these other systems. So it can control Claude, it can control Fathom, Zoom, Stripe, Go High Level, Salesforce, HubSpot, you name it. There are thousands of systems. So instead of you having to go into it and copy and paste and bring it back, it can do all the work for you. In this case, what we're doing is Fathom, Claude Cowork, Fridays at 4, and a coaching report. Now, the reason we're using Cowork is designed for tasking, not talking. So Claude.ai and ChatGPT.com are designed for talking. Claude Cowork is designed for tasking. So designed to get work done, not just brainstorming or talking about the weather. So we're going to create the task, write the job description, set the tone, and then we're going to run it as well. And it's going to trigger itself. I'm going to show you this working now so you can have a quick look at it. So this is a live, this is my work here. You can see it ran a scheduled task. It runs at 4 p.m. every single day. I can show you what that task looked like. It looks like this. You are Pete's weekly leadership and communications coach. Analyze how Pete communicates and leads across all of the week's recorded calls. Not sales calls analysis. We're judging him as a leader and a communicator. Step 1, gather the calls. Step 2, do a per call communication scorecard. Step 3, do a weekly leadership report. Step 4, deliver it in this way. And here's the context. Now, if you want this, just ping me in the chat and we will send it over to you. And if you're in our community, we'll upload this into the community area so you can get it from there. So you can see we have this here, and you can see we've told it to repeat every day at 4 p.m. and it doesn't need approvals. It's always allowed. And it really is that simple. Now, when I put this together the first time round, the way we went about doing this was we asked for the output without any mention of the skill and without any mention of the schedule. So what I mean by that is I sat in Claude Cowork and I said, hey, I want you to do me a leadership and communication review. Go and grab all the recordings from Fathom, come back and tell me what you found. And came back. I'm like, great. I don't need that. I don't need that. I do need this. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Keep this. And it came back again. I'm like, great. I'd like you to focus on this, this, or this. Great. Do that. What one thing do you see that I don't see? Well, I see this. I'm like, wow, that's really useful. Let's add that in. So we went through this conversation. It took about 30 minutes of like, yep, I do need that. No, I don't want that. Yes, I do need that. No, I don't want that. And then once it had finished that, I said, now summarize in a step-by-step guide the process that we just went through. If we were to go through this again, bearing in mind all the feedback I gave you, how would we do it next time? And it produced this, which I then said, great, let's run it on a scheduled task. Now, I'm not going to show you the full report because quite honestly, when I look at it, I'm like, oh my God. But let me show you what it ran so you can have a quick look. So this is week 1, no trend comparison, fanning out the transcript, ran 6 agents. It went and analyzed the various different meetings, found 16, now writing an aggregated report, which it did. And then this is the summary. The actual report I'm not going to show you, but the summary, weekly leadership review, 16 calls, 11 hours. The headline, you're a great explainer. Yes. You take bad news like a champ. Yes. Zero defensiveness around this, around this, around this. But the bill that I paid is I absorbed 16 tasks this week that my team could have owned. Churn list scrubbing, the webinar email rewrite, Hermes rebuild, the LinkedIn event, 8 to 12 hours of my time spent below my pay grade in a week you couldn't make the payroll. I don't know what that's about. No, it wasn't a payroll week. And your talk ratio never drops below 40% no matter what the room. Abundance ran at 85% on a coaching call. Yeah, it's group coaching. It's fine. The one thing for next week, when a blocker surfaces, your first sentence must contain a name that isn't yours. You did it perfectly in this occasion, etc. Notes on this run, we had everything we needed. Full report is in here. The source is in here. Okay? So this now hits me every single week. Now, I've already updated this in the next version of this. And the next version of this actually sends it to my coach as well. So you can see the output here. Right? This is the output here. You can see the work it did. You can see the transcripts it read. And then the full report is in here. So the next version of this actually then sent this to my coach as well, my human coach, so that she can see, so that she can help me out with everything as well. And I'm going to extend this further to looking into food habits, looking into walk habits, looking into exercise habits, and going and pulling all of this data in so that it can start seeing the patterns that I can't see. And that is the real power of this. Because to be an entrepreneur, you have to be belligerent to some degree. And you have to believe your own story to some degree, because you're the one that's willing something into existence. The universe does not want what you have. Well, the universe does, but capitalism doesn't. Right? What I mean by that is universities are geared towards recruitment for big companies, and banks are geared towards big companies, and federal institutions are geared towards big companies. Whether you succeed or fail, No one cares, apart from you. And I'm guessing you care quite a bit, because I care quite a bit. So we have to have these kind of blinkers to be able to just focus and just do the thing, because often we don't have the evidence to support that we should be doing the thing. Often we don't have the cash flow. Often we don't have the P&L. The sales rate isn't what we want it to be. The close rate isn't what we want it to be. The customers aren't doing what we want. We're giving refund. Often we're actually faced with a lot of evidence that says we should just pack up and go home. And we have to ignore that. I hope you know what I mean. Like, we have to ignore the evidence that's telling us, just quit, just go get a job. Wow, that sucks for me. Because if you're in that space, you're essentially on purpose putting blind spots in place. And those are great things because they're needed. But when they apply and they become the default, man, that sucks. That is not going to help. So something that can watch for those blind spots as they appear is critical. One of the parts of this report is how many jobs did I delegate versus how many jobs did I take on. The week before, when I ran this through just doing the thing before the scheduled task, the week before, it said for every one job I delegated, I took on 3. Like, wow, that's a problem. I need to fix that. So it's been constantly on my mind this week of what I need to do in order to change. Like, so every day has started with, what am I taking on that I shouldn't be taking on? Because the team that I have around me are amazing, and they want to help, and they want to succeed, and they want to help us make a success. But if I don't give them the work and the tasks they need, they're never going to be a success. So I need to take those things off me in order to empower them to do the job. I'm not helping anyone if I put that stuff back on me, because not only am I doing that, not only am I disempowering them, I'm just flooding myself and taking me away from the only things I can do, which is marketing, like this. I need to do more of this, less of the stuff like that. So that's the plan. Right? We can use this to see the blind spots, and we can use it to give us a non-biased opinion of the blind spots. Because what we don't want is our own crap to come into the equation. That's what we're trying to avoid. And Claude is very, very good at this. It's very, very good at being more neutral when we give it what we need. Okay, so I'm just going to repeat again. I see some people in the chat. Thank you so much. I think is that Lisa Murphy? I think I'm looking at the little thumbnails. Melody, it's great to see you. Steve, thank you so much for being here. Quick request. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel and like it and follow it and save for alerts so that when we come back live, we're going to be doing these every week now here. So when we do, you see us. And obviously that means you can also talk in the chat. We'd love to see you talking in the chat. So if you have any questions, put them in the chat. The team will bring them to me and we can go into them. So with that said, we're now at the stage. If you follow just those small piece of advice, just go through this again. Create the task. In this case, it was a comms review. Write the job description. Set the tone, and then tell it when to schedule and run it. So the things that I told it to look at was talk ratio, question quality. How many times am I asking people questions versus telling them what to do? What decisions did I made versus deferred? How many things did I delegate? What blind spots do I not see? And what is the one thing that I need to change next week? What is the one thing I can focus on? Because I can't focus on all of these at once. It's simply not possible to change my behavior at that pace. Maybe if I was 17 again, I might be able to, but I'm not. So I want to know, what is the one thing? What is the highest single lever I can pull for minimum effort and maximum return? Now, I wanted to give you some other ideas of where these can be used. And all of these are things that you should have in, I should have in. If you're in our Moneymaker program, you should be doing this through the agentic side and Hermes. If you're not, then at least get it done through Claude. But you saw how easy it is. One task, right? One task leads to one schedule, leads to one output. One task, one schedule, one output. It's as simple as that. So here's what we're looking to do. 1, Monday briefing. What is the week ahead of us? 2, pipeline review. What's moved and what's stalled? Money. 3, invoice chasing, either telling us what invoices are missing, or telling us what invoices we need to chase up, or even better, getting the AI to do it for you, at least for the first 2 or 3, because the first 2 or 3 chases are very, very formulaic. Hi, this amount was due on this day. Can you give us an update, please? Right. Content cues, competitor intelligence. What's our competitors doing? Are they launching new products, new services, new price points? What similarities are we seeing in the market? Meeting preps before a meeting. Just the simple act of having 5 minutes to be present before you get on a call, to remember to be in that call, is key. Inbox triage, the 5 must answer emails in the week. And then the weekly CEO brief, how's the whole business doing and all the aspects. And that's just off the top of my head. That's just 8 things that I could think of. There's dozens, there's hundreds of things that should be happening on a scheduled basis that you don't need to go and fire every single time. But that was just a quick little peek. So I am interested in the chat. Which one of these are you looking at putting in first? Which one? Is it the briefing? Is it the pipeline review? Is it chasing invoices? I said Lisa Murphy's here. She's already done half of these things. Content queue, competitor intelligence, meeting preps, inbox triage, weekly CEO, or that leadership review that I just said. Which one of those is where you're going to go with it? Or is it something different? Is there something on this list that I haven't thought of, which would be fantastic, that we can talk about that instead? Pipeline review from Lisa. Great. I love it. I can see some others on the other channels as well, but that'll do me. Pipeline reviews are good. Content queue is good. I mean, all of these are good because these things should be working without us having to do the work. That's the point. And we want to gain. I honestly don't think AI has given us any leverage at all for the average person. I think it's caused more work, not less work. Now, the quality of the work that gets done is better, which is a great start. But I think that we've ended up literally digging our own trench with this stuff. Because now I can do this, now I can do this, now I can do this, now I can do this. And the team hasn't necessarily started learning to the same degree. So if the team haven't started learning to the same degree that we have, then we end up having the extra capability, which means we end up putting the work back on us. And it's kind of hard to get the team to take on board at the same level, because for us, AI means we can create more, do more, serve more, be of more value. But for a lot of the people we employ, AI just means that they're worried about their job. So if you're worried about your job, why would you look to do more of it? Like if you're like, oh, AI is going to take my job, that's not the starting point where people say, oh, I'm in, let's do more AI. That's a different subject for a different day. But what we find is that teams aren't as quick to implement as the founder is, because the founder just sees the advantages. He just sees the benefits. She just sees what can be done extra on that in that way. Whereas team members, not so much. So I saw Perky. Good to see you, by the way. Hope your day was good yesterday. Said, not sure, just starting building the business. Okay. So where would I use scheduled tasks for building the business? I'd ask for its help building the business. I'd say, I'm just starting out my business. This is my goal. This is my objective. This is my revenue. This is where I'm at. This is the background. Run every morning and help me work out what to do next. Like, what is my number one rock that I need to move today? Now, you don't need to do what it says. You can go, nope, I don't agree. I want to do this instead. But just waking up to something and saying, good morning, day 5. I'd recommend you do X, Y, Z today. And then carrying on the conversation with it would already be a good way to do this. If you're trying to get a behavioral change, you're not in business, you start a business, just asking AI to help you with that would give you a great starting point. Okay. So this is where we get to, as we said at the beginning, the first report, 1 honest review. A few things sting. I honestly, when it said that for every 16 jobs I delegated, I took on 40 from the team. That was rough. That was really rough. I thought I've been working on delegation for a couple of years now. I thought I got slightly better than 3-1 in the wrong direction. Like, it's supposed to be 10-1 in the right direction. I'm supposed to take on 4 for every 40 I hand out, and instead I'm taking on 40 for every 16 I give out. That's the wrong way. So that did sting. Now, the trend lines then start appearing. We start seeing those patterns. We start seeing in a weekly basis the pipeline, the invoices, how did you do yesterday what you said you were going to do? And like in the case of Perky, I'm like, well, I said I was going to do this. Did I do it? Yes or no? Because what then happens when you do something like that is the AI starts learning who you are. It starts seeing the patterns in how you respond to it. And it will start suggesting different things and helping you in different ways. The more interaction you have with Claude or ChatGPT, the better it's going to get for you. And then you become, at the end, you become a different leader. Like compounding, if I can make one change per week for 52 weeks, that isn't just 52 changes. That's 52 sets of compounding. Each of those changes, if they make me 1% better by the time you get to the end of the year, is a 2, 3, or 4x. And that's what we want to do. That's what we want to do with all of these scheduled tasks, whether it's invoices. You bring in every invoice 3 or 4 days earlier throughout the year is a 10% difference in your margin. I'm making up the numbers, but you get the point. If you make one extra sale a week, same thing. If you avoid one extra mistake, same thing. If your leadership and communication is better, same thing. So across the board, if we can do this, the compounding wins for us. Now, I will take some more questions in the chat if we have any, but if you are not yet in our world, I would recommend you check out our Clubhouse program. We have a live call every single week where we have live Q&A on Zoom, and you get to see us build these things out together. So instead of me kind of presenting the finished thing, I'll actually kind of build it with you as we're doing it. That's Thursday at noon Eastern. Thursday at noon Eastern. You also get access to our community that you heard me speak about a few times. So we would love to see you there if that's of interest to you. It's peterswain.com. I'll show you on the next page. Actually, I've got the link and everything. I don't want to bring it up early. It's peterswain.com/blah/blah//clubhouse. $49 a month. Very, very simple in order to just understand what AI is and how it's going to work for you. Because a lot of people that we speak to are incredibly overwhelmed right now, and rightly so. Myself and Liz do this full time, and we find it hard to keep up because AI is overwhelming because it's changing so quickly. And what could realistically be done in a way that actually works for you changes almost by the day, literally by the day. Something that wasn't possible yesterday is now possible. And we kind of sit and filter that out so that you can just focus on what can be done and what can actually move the needle, both in terms of your effectiveness and efficiency. So if you want to join us there, you should. We do a weekly live build, as I said, every Thursday. We have Q&A in the room, and we have the sharpest AI signal filtered by moi. And obviously, we have a 30-day guarantee. So if you come on board and you don't like what you see, then you just say thanks very much, I'll have my money back. All for the grand cost of $49 a month. And as I think Liz just said, thank you. The link is in the community. Oh, we've got Chris here as well. Hey, Chris, thank you. Let's finish it. You did 25 years with your colleagues. Don't do this piece alone. Like, being an entrepreneur is one of the loneliest things that I know of, or it can be. I said I'm really lucky to be able to do this with Liz, but it can be really hard to do this. It's not an easy path. If anyone ever tells you entrepreneurship is easy, they have not done this. So come and join us. Let's hang out, let's chill, let's chat, and let's figure out this AI thing together. Unless there is anything else, any other questions in the chat, I see some of our wonderful community here. Lisa, thank you. Chris, thank you. Liz, thank you as ever for your support. Perky, you're new to our world. I'm looking forward to working with you. Dave, good to see you. Steve, good to see you. So come and see us. Come and play with us. Come and hang out with us. And thank you for letting me do this on YouTube today. And I look forward to doing it again next week and the week after that, and getting this to be a smooth and seamless little piece of our thing. Go and get this done. It's really easy. Set the task, ask it to run on a schedule, and you're away. Don't matter how right you get it right now, just matters that you get it done. So no matter how naive the prompt is, no matter how bad it is, no matter how good it is, no matter how much context you give it, just get it done. You'll thank yourself later on. And with that, thank you very much. You rock. I will see you soon. I'll be back here next week, so make sure you register, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like this, and I'll see you next week, and we can do some more fun stuff. Until then, adios.